We're here in Arlington, Virginia to talk about some musical history and share some vintage photographs. I'm Jack Maier. I'm a frequent contributor to dcmemories.com, a website dedicated to nostalgia and memories from the Washington, D.C. area, including Northern Virginia. And it's run by my good friend, Mr. Bob Bell. We've got an artifact here I want to share with you today. It's an Arlington related series. This is a photo album, a radio and TV picture folder from Jimmy Dean and his Texas Wildcats. Now, the Wildcats were a country and western band that played in the Washington, D.C. area in the early 1950s. And Jimmy Dean was an Arlington resident himself. He lived on Roosevelt Boulevard, and there's a picture of him. He later went on to national fame. He had a national television show, and he was a recording artist, and on his national show he worked with the Muppets. That was pretty cool. But he got his start right here in Arlington, Virginia. And that's Jimmy. And he was associated with the radio station WARL that was located right down the street here at Lee Highway and Harrison Street in North Arlington. And this is a photo of the radio station had a lawn party with Jimmy Dean was one, and the Wildcats were one of the musical groups that played. So they had it right in the back of the studio, and the area is still part of broadcasting. There's a cell phone tower there now, but this is how it was more than 60 years ago. And another fun place just down the street on Lee Highway and Lexington Street was the Richardson's Golf Service, and I believe the Wildcats did a few promotions there. And it shows them with, I think that's a Cadillac. It shows the band smiling, their recently serviced car, and it's nice and polished. And the building itself is still there. It's still an auto service location right there at Lee Highway in Lexington. So after a full day of playing concerts and promotional photos, the band had a nice meal at the Gateway Diner at 1606 North Fort Maier Drive in Roslyn. And the Gateway was known for good food, and I can see they're enjoying a few hamburgers and some iced tea there. It's making me hungry there. So good food there, and after a long day of playing music and working, it's good to have a good meal. And that's just some of the scenes of Jimmy Dean and his Texas Wildcats right here in Arlington, Virginia.